The following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
And welcome into the Wicked Weed studio, wickedweedbrewing.com. Drink different. Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene here in the Sportsocracy. The Baltimore Ravens have turned things around after that opening season loss to the Kansas City, or to the Las Vegas Raiders. Then they beat the Kansas City Chiefs. And then there was that Detroit game. And then they got back on track against the Denver Broncos this past week, being able to, keep the Denver Broncos in check. Obviously, Teddy Bridgewater being out and Drew Lock filling in horribly for Teddy Bridgewater helped make that game, a decided victory for the Baltimore Ravens. The thing I was kind of thrown off with, though, they didn't run the ball a whole lot. I mean, of course, until the last play of the game and Vic Fangio threw a hissy fit.
They didn't run a lot. They ran 30 times.
But they didn't, what I'm saying is they didn't do a lot with it.
3.5 yards a carry.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. Lamar Jackson is before our eyes showing that he can play this way. I don't think it's terribly efficient.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think he needs to run more than 7 times in a game.
Mm-hmm.
This was always my fear with he starts doing the drop back passer thing. Do you know how many 300-yard games he has in his career? This is his 4th season in the league.
I'd say 3.
2. This was his 2nd ever.
Mm-hmm.
He's yet to throw an interception in one of those games, which is mind-boggling to me. He can win this way. But I think the decision to healthy scratch Tyson Williams is dumb. I understand that he's not a rookie, he's a second-year guy, that doesn't necessarily pick up blocking schemes well and doesn't – all of the things. I get that. He's the most electric running back you have. Mm-hmm. He's the most pop you have. Now, I said from the get-go, Latavius Murray is the guy that should be getting the number 1 reps.
Yep.
And that shouldn't stop. Le'Veon Bell should never get a carry ever. Devontae Freeman should never get a carry ever because neither one of them are very good. Mm-hmm. They're both over-the-hill running backs. And that's starting to bother me. It's bothering me that Greg Roman's looking at this going, I would rather use these 2 geriatrics than use the running back with a little pop. I don't understand that. Against the Broncos, that's not going to catch you. Mm-hmm. Against the Colts this week, I don't think that's going to catch you. Now, 2 weeks from now against the Chargers, that could catch you. They need to figure something out with Tyson Williams and get him on the field and be able to harness the talent of him because it's very important that they run the ball, and it's very important that they run the ball well against teams that are equitable talent-wise. The Denver Broncos are not. And to me, that was abundantly clear within 5 minutes of that game.
Right.
I mean, and I thought it going in, so.
The Ravens, though, this week taking on the Indianapolis Colts. I don't see the Colts in their class.
I don't either, but every week I get a gut feeling game against the spread. I don't think the Ravens are losing this game, but I think this game will be closer than people think. I don't know why. I don't have a real good reason for that. But I do think this game's going to be closer than people think. I don't think they come out and beat them 35-10, which talent for talent, they should. This game should be a carbon copy of the game last week. An offense that can't contend with their defense and a defense that can't keep up with their offense. That's how it should look.
Yeah.
Don't necessarily think it's how it's going to.
Do you think they're going to continue this trend, though, of not running Lamar Jackson? I said this in the preseason, that should be the tack that they take. And you told me I was crazy, but it looks like that's what they're doing.
And I still agree that
it's crazy. Mm-hmm. I agree. It definitely makes your team less dynamic. If
makes
Lamar
them less
Jackson
efficient.
if Lamar Jackson is not running 10 to 15 times at least in a game.
I mean, it bothers me that, he's run the ball twice. He's run the ball 2 times. 2 weeks in a row, he's run it 7 times. I couldn't make those words come out in the right order.
Yeah.
That's unsettling to me because you played 2 teams that weren't in your class. Detroit stayed way closer to you than they should. Mm-hmm. And I'll be honest with you, I thought you should have beaten Denver by more. And that's kind of what I'm saying with your offense is not nearly as efficient as go back to the game with Kansas City. Lamar's 18 of 26, 239 yards, a touchdown. Yeah, he threw 2 picks, but he had 16 carries for 107 yards, 2 touchdowns. You beat the Kansas City Chiefs, who are better than you. Mm-hmm. Not by much. They're not way better than you.
Right.
If you take this game plan and run it against the Chiefs, how badly do they beat you?
Oh, 2 scores.
Aggressively.
Yeah, 2 scores at least.
That's my problem. And I can tell you, there are a lot of Baltimore Ravens fans that don't like Greg Roman. Mm-hmm. And I've always thought he was a good coach, but I'm starting to understand what the bone of contention with him is.
I don't know that it's so much a bone of contention. Maybe it's just Greg Roman's plan of, we don't have to run Lamar in these games to win them. We didn't have to run him to beat the Denver Broncos. We don't have to run him to beat the Indianapolis Colts. Maybe it's one of those things that he's governing his carries because it's a 17-week season.
Well, if that's the case, he's an idiot because he almost lost to the Detroit Lions. I mean, if that's the case, then you should fire him immediately because he almost cost you a game against one of the worst teams in the NFL.
Right.
With a mind-bogglingly stupid game plan. Mm-hmm. Now, here's my question. When the weapons come back, all right, and you've got Bateman back and the full complement, do you really think you want Lamar Jackson throwing the ball 30 times a game?
No.
Because he's done it in 3 of the 4 games they played this year. Mm-hmm. What was the most impressive game they played yet?
I'd say it was the Chiefs game.
Mm-hmm. That's the one he didn't. That's not a happenstance. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, that is not a happenstance. I look at Lamar Jackson and go, the best games I've ever seen you play, you were in about that 24 to 28 passing attempts, 12 to 16 rushing attempts. You're dynamic, and that's when this offense is terrifying, especially now that you don't have a J.K. Dobbins. Mm-hmm. Latavius Murray is good, but he's never going to be more than that 3 yards in a cloud of dust running back.
Yep.
You need somebody with some pop. Now, whether it's Lamar, Tyson Williams, I don't really care. You need somebody that's got some pop out of the backfield. And that would be a reservation for me. Now, I still look at Baltimore and go, I mean, we did power rankings earlier this week. Do you happen to remember where I had the Ravens?
8.
It was 8.
Yep.
So, still top quarter of the league. I have them as the 3rd best team in the AFC. Right in front of the Chargers, right in front of the Raiders. And I think there's a clear delineation between them and every team in the AFC North. Mm-hmm. I think they're 2 steps ahead of the Cleveland Browns.
I'd agree.
So, to me, you're without a doubt the favorite to win the division. I look at the schedule and go, there are some games that I'm going to need you to get a swift dose to act right. But you still have a damn dynamic quarterback. I just want to see him throw less and use what got you here. This is one of the things that always made me nervous about we're going to let him throw 30-something times a game. Mm-hmm. Lamar Jackson's in his league because he's the most dynamic runner I've ever seen. Him and Michael Vick are the 2 most dynamic quarterbacks I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. And that's why I got here. He didn't get here as a elite thrower of the football. So why are you trying to make him one?
Especially with the struggles that you have with the weapons.
That's like trying to make Tyreek Hill a real good underneath route runner. We'll run him like Hunter Renfrow. No, that's stupid. He has an elite skill. Use it.
Yeah.
Now, do you have to harness it? Absolutely. And do I understand you not wanting him to take hits? Absolutely. But I think you've gone too far the opposite direction 2 weeks in a row now.
Mm-hmm. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene. A Baltimore Ravens, no doubt one of the best teams in the NFL. Just tweak it a little bit. Just tweak it a little bit, get Lamar back doing what he's supposed to do, and you're going to, you're going to win way more games than you lose this year anyway. No fear.
But no real fears this week, just a weird gut call that Indy's going to cover. Might be a backdoor cover. This game may never be in doubt, and Indy scores a touchdown with 1.5 minutes to go.
Yep.
Tries an onside, Baltimore nails it out.
But when you get into these big games with the best teams in the NFL, you're going to need to have that dynamic offense going forward.
A week from now against the Chargers.
And a week from now, we will give you the update on how that all went and what we feel about their next game upcoming here in the Sportsocracy. Team-by-team coverage all season long. Hit that subscribe button. And, of course, join us every morning at 10 a.m. in the Wicked Weed studio. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.